Welcome back, my dears. So today's video we're talking about perfumes in my collection that I'm going to have for the rest of my lifespan. Although with as many perfumes that I have in my collection, most of them are going to outlive me anyways, but these are specific perfumes that I know I'm going to keep for the rest of my life. Some of them I just picked up, and some of them I actually have had for a few years. I know you're looking at my collection and going, how did you choose? Considering the fact that we love fragrances and we like trying new things. But it was hard, but I did it. So let's get started. In the interest of time, I'm not going to go too crazy in depth with these perfumes, okay? So the first one we're talking about is by YSL, and this is Libre Intense. This is my favorite Libre from all the flankers. I've smelled all of them, but this is my favorite. I do appreciate the lavender in this fragrance quite a bit. It's my favorite out of all the other flankers that has come out, including the original. Libre Intense is my favorite. I like the way the lavender plays on my skin. I find that it's very multi-dimensional and it's transformational. So it makes me happy when I spray it. So I transform from being ugly and sad to happy and bright and cheery and pretty. Anyways, this is Libre Intense and this is by YSL. Now, this fragrance is my favorite as well from the Givenchy LInterdt line. This is LInterdt Rouge. I really like this fragrance quite a bit. It is bright yet seductive. It is spicy yet smooth and floral. So there are all sorts of elements playing here with LInterdt Rouge. It's a very sexy fragrance. It's a great fragrance for dating, evening time. I would say second, third date, not the first date, because it's quite powerful. Not to mention the performance, guys. It projects, it leaves a sillage, it comes with a punch, and I love that about LInterdt Rouge. Let me know also if you've tried this fragrance. And this is by Givenchy. Now, this fragrance, I was not sure it was going to stay on my list or even make the list, okay? This is Dior Addict. I will be frank and honest with you. I don't know why I haven't been wearing this perfume. I really don't. I think it's because I have so many other perfumes in my collection now that it's just kind of gotten forgotten about. But when I went to make this video, I pulled this out, I sprayed it, and I was like, wait up. I really like this. Why haven't I been wearing it? I don't know what's wrong with me. Let me show you something. I have worn this fragrance quite a bit, as you can see by this dent. So I don't know why it was sitting by the wayside. I am hoping to do better because I'm thinking I'm going to keep this for sure in my collection because I really like it. Every time I spray it, I enjoy it. So this is Dior Addict. Now, I'm also surprised about this one. This is BURBERRY Her Elixir. Guys, when I first bought this perfume, if you look at my old videos, I wasn't really feeling this as much. I thought that it smelled nice, but the performance was really lacking. It wasn't staying on my skin. Now, after the perfume sat for a few months, guess what? It's smelling a lot better. It lasts a lot longer. The performance is there. However, I use BURBERRY I use the elixir, to be honest with you, as a mixer. I use the elixir as a mixer. That's what I use it for. I use it for layering purposes. I appreciate the fruity opening. I appreciate the dry down, but I appreciate it even more when I layer it with items like strawberry pound cake or the original BURBERRY Her, or even, to be honest with you, Kama Sutra. I've tried it with that and it smells wonderful. So this is BURBERRY Her Elixir. Now this fragrance is a recent acquisition provided to me by my hubby. Thank you, baby. Anyways, this is by the House of Sillage. It's called HufflePuff. I really love this fragrance a lot. This is one of the best vanillas. Let me repeat myself. This is one of the best vanillas in my entire collection. HufflePuff is an exquisite gourmand. It is delightful. It is playful. It is a little sexy even. But I found this fragrance to be one of the most, I would say the best vanilla in my collection. It's like if I were to pick out, I have a lot of vanillas, so if I were to pick out my top 10 vanillas, this would be in the top 5. I absolutely love the presentation too. Y'all know I love House of Sillage presentation or across the board, so there is no question about that. But if you don't have this in your collection, I would say, and you love vanilla, get HufflePuff. Next up is one of my favorite fragrances in my whole collection, and this is Chanel's Allure. This is the Eau de Parfum. Now, this fragrance, I have a lot of Chanel, to be honest with you. I have a lot of Chanel, but I'm telling you for a fact, this was, I can't say is, was my favorite Chanel perfume until I introduced, wait for it, I introduced this one. This is Allure Sensuelle. Now, I still love Allure, but I love Allure Sensuelle more. It's a little more spicier. It has a little more sexier vibe to it. I think that the Allure Sensuelle I'll wear in the evenings, and then the Allure I would wear, in the day and go to work, that kind of vibe. These two, they don't smell, well, they smell alike, but I think that they smell different enough that you would want to own them both. That is just my opinion, okay? I mean, I could say, you only need one, but I'm not going to say that because these two are definitely going to be must-haves and forever in my lifetime in my collection. Next up is a fragrance that I really, really like, and as you can see by this dent, this is Jimmy Choo, I Want You Forever. This fragrance, oh my gosh, it was released last year, I want to say, and I picked it up towards the end of the year around Christmas, and I was really happy that I picked it up, so much so as you can see by the dent. I've been wearing this fragrance a lot. I find this to be a very easy, desirable fragrance. It's a good fragrance for a designer line. I like the way the notes play on my skin. I like the way that, to be honest with you, I get good projection in CR, so the performance is really good. So you really need to get your nose on this. So this is Jimmy Choo, I Want You Forever. Next up is a fragrance that every time I wear, I get compliments. Yes, this is the Supreme, and this is the Carolina Herrera's Good Girl, but this is the Supreme version, or the Supreme Flanker. This fragrance I was wearing also quite a bit. You don't need a lot, but I picked this up only because I was struggling with the original Carolina Herrera's Good Girl, and this fit the cake for me. I really like the way it sits on my skin. It gives me joy when I wear it, and I really like the fact that some of my perfumes, when I spray it, I automatically, my mood just changed, and I really like that about this fragrance. Not to mention the fact that it's sexy. It has that nice, exotic type of cocoa vibe. It's not cloying, none of that kind of stuff. And to be honest with you, the presentation don't hurt either, because I kind of like these heels. In my opinion, I think these heels are sexy, okay? And it looks really cute when displayed. I mean, some people think it's gaudy. I will admit that there is a level of gaudiness to it, but it is a beautiful fragrance in itself. Aside from the presentation, it's a beautiful fragrance in itself. The Supreme Good Girl Supreme, for me, is one that I think I will always have in my collection. If I got rid of all my Good Girls, this is the one I would definitely keep. Now, this fragrance is a newbie in my collection. This is Dolce & Gabbana's Devotion. I recently picked this up from Sephora right before their sale. What I did is I used my points to purchase this. So I paid, I want to say like $60-something for the big bottle. $60 or $70 for the big bottle because I used the $100 gift certificate. Anyways, forget about that, how I got it. Let's talk about the perfume in itself. I really like this. It's going to be in my collection forever, even though the opening does give me sort of a Fabuloso vibe. Yes, child, I said it. Okay, it does give me a cleaning supply type of vibe when I first spray it on there. I do get the lemon, so it's like the lemon version of Fabuloso when you spray it. That's what I get, but it's not off-putting to me. I really like Devotion a lot. I love the dry down. I love the way I feel. I do feel bright and happy and clean, okay? All right, so this is Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana. Next up, we have one of Nathan's favorites. So my son is really into perfume. He has been since about the age of 4 or 5, maybe 3 even. Anyways, this is Finery's Not Another Cherry. Now, this is a good dupe for Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, as well as KAYALI's cherry fragrance. It's a good cherry fragrance. For me, I think even though it comes from Target, for me, I think this fragrance is so good. Number one, it's cheap, so you can overspray it, okay? But number two, it does last really good on the skin, especially if you do layering. Like you put oil and then you spray it and then you just wait a little bit more and then you spray it again. I'm telling you, nothing of the cherry does perform. I love this fragrance. The cherry is not synthetic. The cherry smells sweet, but not overly cloying or anything like that. It doesn't smell like cough medicine to me. I really like this fragrance. Again, this is Nathan's favorite. Every time we go in Target, he sprays his skin with this. So this is Nothing of the Cherry by FINERY. Now here is another cherry fragrance. This is PROAD Cherry Syrup Intense, and I'm telling you, this fragrance is absolutely divine in that it's a combination, in my opinion, a combination of Baccarat Rouge 540, the saffron elements, as well as Lost Cherry by Tom Ford, the cherry elements with the sweet, you know, sort of almost sticky, chocolatey vibe, but not quite chocolatey there, you know. This is beautiful on the skin. Projection is great. Longevity is great. Sillage is great. And it gives a really good aura around you when you wear it. People always compliment me when I wear Cherry Syrup Intense by PROAD. Let me know if you've tried this fragrance and what your thoughts are. There is no doubt in my mind that this is going to be in my collection. I was down when it first released. I was down in the midpoint of it. And here it is 3 years later and I'm still down with her. I absolutely love Angel Share by KILIAN. There is no question in my mind this is always going to be a fragrance that's going to remain in my collection. I love the boozy aspects of this fragrance, the caramelized vibe it gives, the vanillic vibes it gives. Absolutely exquisitely made. It's not screechy on me at all. Absolutely love it on both me and my hubby. Now, this one shouldn't be a surprise, Delina Exclusive. Now, you guys know I love me some Parfums de Marly, but this happens to be my favorite rose fragrance from the line. From the whole Delina line, Delina Exclusive is my favorite. I love the way this fragrance performs. I also love it when I layer it with Skin Potions, Kama Sutra. Those two together, mwah, chef's kiss, okay, to the 100th degree. The lychee, the rose, the orange blossom, everything about Delina Exclusive, I absolutely love. I really couldn't say anything other than it's always going to be in my collection. It's always going to be one of my favorites to reach for, especially, you know, in fact, any time of the year, I love wearing this. So this is Delina Exclusive by Parfums de Marly. I received this fragrance as a Christmas present because that's what I asked for and that's what I got. And this is Christian Louboutin's Luby Prince. Not a lot of people get with this fragrance. It might come off a little medicinal for some folks, a little bit too indolic for some folks, but for me, I really enjoy wearing this. I think it's deep, earthy, sexy. The patchouli in here is very much so earthy, but not dirt, like not dirty. You know what I mean? I don't know if I can explain it any better than that. I think that the blend that Christian Louboutin did with this is perfect for me. I think it's just speaks sexy. It looks sexy, it feels sexy, it smells sexy, and it will always be in my collection. So this is Loubiprince by Christian Louboutin. Here's another Christmas present I received, Ambre Essentrico by Armani PRIVE. This is the Armani PRIVE line from Armani, from Giorgio Armani. Guys, this is such a beautiful amber fragrance. If you were to ask me what's my favorite amber in my collection, I will tell you Ambre Essentrico. The moment I smell this, I knew that I loved it, I like it, loved it. No, I love it. There's no liking to it. This fragrance, in my opinion, is one of the best well-blended fragrances, amber fragrances across all ambers, and all the ambers I've ever smelled. I don't know if you've ever gotten your nose on this or if it's reformulated. I've never really looked into it, but this is one fragrance that's always going to be in my collection for two reasons. One, my man bought it, and two, I love it. Okay, and the third reason, I asked for it. So this is Ambre Essentrico, and this is by Giorgio Armani from the PRIVE line. KAYALI's Vanilla 28. I don't even have to tell you all about it. This is one of the best caramelized brown sugar vanillas out there. As you can see, mine is turned sort of purpley reddish brown. Love it. Don't spray it on white clothes anymore because it does stain. But I absolutely love this fragrance. It's a perfect layering tool. You can put it on top, you can put it in the middle, you can put it below, whatever layer you want to do. If you like vanilla fragrances, you need to have this one in your collection. The hype is real about this fragrance. I know KAYALI gets a lot of flack. Mona's perfumes are really good, okay? But the Vanilla 28 is an iconic fragrance. Let me say it again. Vanilla 28 is an iconic fragrance. I said it. I don't care if you come for me. I said it. Okay, I said what I said. Anyways, let me know if you've tried Vanilla 28, if you've tried layering it, what your favorite layering combination is. I'd love to hear from you because I like layering fragrances. You guys know that. So I'd like to, you know, maybe learn a thing or two from you. So Vanilla 28 by KAYALI, one that's always going to be in my collection. Here's another fragrance that I was iffy on. This is Oud Satin Mood. I have just a small bottle of this because I also have a 10 ml that I purchased as a decant, and I was like, oh my god, I really need to have this fragrance. So I went ahead and I bought this small bottle. Now, I like layering this fragrance again with Kama Sutra by Skin Potions because I like the way it smells when I do that layering combination. I like wearing it by itself, but I prefer it layered with Kama Sutra. So this is Oud Satin Mood, and this is by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. If you see this fragrance anywhere and you like almond vibes in fragrance, pick it up. This is Le Baiser du Dragon by Cartier, and it's one of the best fragrances in my collection. I owned a bottle way back in the early 2000s, and then I got my hands on another bottle, and now it's kind of hard to get your hands on. Love it. I love the almond vibes. I love the caramelly vibes to it. It's a beautiful gourmand. It's slightly powdery, and it performs like a beast. Absolutely love it. On my skin, this is Le Baiser du Dragon by Cartier. Now, I do have more perfumes that I could have easily added to this list. In fact, more than a dozen. In fact, more than 50. But I just wanted to keep this video down, all right? I wanted to keep it down so that you guys wouldn't be mad at me for going over too long. But if you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments. I'd like to discuss details down there with you. If this is the kind of stuff you'd like to see, please consider subscribing to the channel. When you do, you'll see a notification bell. When you hit subscribe, you'll see a notification bell to my left, your right. Click on that. Hit the one that says all so you'll know every time I do a video, every time I post in the community, and every single time I do a live. You won't miss a beat if you click on that. So now click on one of these and the artwork, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!